Howdy, folks! Saddle up for a wild ride through Texas history, the Alamo, and more. Ever wondered why the Alamo is such a big deal, or why Texans are so darn proud? Well, grab your cowboy hats and get ready for a rootin' tootin' history lesson that's more fun than a rodeo clown. We're diving deep into the story of the Alamo and Texas independence with a sprinkle of humor and a whole lot of Lone Star pride. So, what exactly is the Alamo? It's not just a dusty old building in San Antonio, though it is that too. San Antonio is a bustling city today, but back in the day, it was part of the Spanish territory of Mexico. The Alamo started as a Spanish mission, basically a church and home for Catholic priests trying to convert the local Native American tribes. Think of it as a historical bed and breakfast, but with more religion and less mince on the pillow. These missions popped up all over the place, some thriving, others turning into ghost towns or, in the Alamo's case, a fort. Today, it's a major tourist attraction, drawing millions every year. But why? What's so special about this old mission-turned-fort that makes people flock to it like bluebonnets in the spring? Let's rewind to 1820. The Spanish territory of Mexico was huge. We're talking Central America all the way up to Oregon, and from the Pacific Ocean to, well, a big chunk of what we now call Texas. Then, in 1821, Mexico kicked Spain to the curb and declared independence. They even wrote their own constitution, just like the US, promising things like elections and states' rights. And guess what? Texas was one of those states. Fun fact, Mexico has 32 states today, so Texas would have been just one of many tacos in the box. Now, here's where things get interesting. Texas was a massive state, bigger than your grandma's hair in the 80s, but it was practically empty. Only about 4,000 people called it home. Mexico needed folks to move in, settle down, and, most importantly, defend the land from those pesky native attacks. Enter Stephen Austin. His dad had snagged a deal with Mexico to settle 300 American families on a huge chunk of land. After his dad passed, Stephen took the reins and expanded the deal even further. Land was going for a steal, just 12.5 cents an acre. That's like finding a dollar bill in your old jeans, but 1,000 times better. Of course, there were rules. The Mexican government wasn't just handing out land like candy. They wanted good, honest folks, not criminals or deadbeats. They also wanted settlers too. Become Mexican citizens, adios, stars, and stripes. Convert to Catholicism, say your Hail Marys. Learn Spanish, hola, amigos. Obey Mexican laws, no funny business. And the big one, no slaves, a major sticking point. People flooded into Texas faster than you can say yeehaw. It was called Texas fever, and it was contagious. But here's the kicker, most of these new Texans didn't bother following the rules. They stayed American, kept their own religion, butchered the Spanish language, and yep, kept their slaves. Enter Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. This guy was a war hero, a big shot in Mexico's fight for independence. He got elected president, but then he went all power hungry. He tossed out the Constitution, wrote a new one that made him basically a king, and started cracking down on anyone who disagreed with him. Some Mexican states rebelled, and Santa Anna sent his army to squash them like pesky mosquitoes. Meanwhile, in Texas, things were getting tense. Some leaders, like Stephen Austin, wanted to give Santa Anna a chance to chill out. Others, like Sam Houston, were ready for a fight. They wanted independence. To show Texas who was boss, Santa Anna marched into the state with over 1,500 soldiers and attacked the Alamo, that little mission-turned-fort. Inside were about 250 Texans, outnumbered and outgunned. They held out for 12 days, fighting like cornered badgers. On the 13th day, the Alamo fell. William Travis, Jim Bowie, Davy Crockett, all legends, all dead. The survivors, mostly women and children, were sent home to spread the word. Santa Anna was unstoppable. But instead of fear, the Alamo became a rallying cry. Remember the Alamo. It lit a fire under the Texans, and they were ready to rumble. The revolution came to a head at the Battle of San Jacinto. Sam Houston, the wily fox, led his Texan army to surprise Santa Anna's troops while they were taking a siesta. Can you imagine? A nap attack. Santa Anna tried to escape, but he was caught hiding in some bushes the next day. Houston forced him to sign a treaty recognizing Texas independence and ordering his troops to leave. And just like that, Texas was a brand new country. Texas was free, but the party wasn't over yet. Mexico didn't want to give up all that land, especially since Texas was a gold mine of cotton, cattle, timber, and other goodies. There was also a lot of arguing about where the border actually was, leading to constant skirmishes. To solve their problems, Texas asked to join the United States, but there was a catch. Texas wanted to join as a slave state, which would upset the balance of power in Washington. The abolitionists, who were against slavery, weren't happy about it. But in 1845, fueled by the idea of manifest destiny, the belief that the U.S. was destined to expand across the continent, Congress finally invited Texas to become the 28th state. The border skirmishes didn't stop, and they eventually led to the Mexican-American War. The battle cry, "Remember the Alamo," echoed once more as American soldiers fought for Texas and more land. America won the war, solidifying Texas' place in the Union. Today, "Remember the Alamo" is still used as a call for bravery and a symbol of fighting for freedom against all odds. The Alamo itself remains a sacred place, a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who fought for Texas independence. So, next time you're in San Antonio, be sure to visit the Alamo. It's more than just a pile of rocks. It's a piece of history, a symbol of courage, and a reminder that even the smallest group of people can stand up for what they believe in. All right, history buffs, students, and proud Texans, here's your call to action. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this wild ride through Texas history. Subscribe to our channel for more fun and educational videos about the Lone Star State and beyond. Leave a comment below and tell us what you found most interesting about the Alamo and Texas independence. Share this video with your friends and family so they can learn about this important chapter in American history. And finally, plan a trip to San Antonio and visit the Alamo yourself. It's an experience you won't forget. Thanks for watching, y'all, and remember, don't mess with Texas.